I bet you don't. Most small business owners ignore data in their businesses. And, you know, can I say that I blame you? No, I really can't because you're so busy actually trying to do the business and get work and just survive sometimes that it's easy to stop and not look at the numbers. Well, I'm here to tell you that's probably a mistake. Hey, everybody, I'm Atiba, and welcome to Traffic Keys. If you are a business owner looking to drive more eyeballs to your website and generate more leads, you are in the right place. Welcome, because that's what I'm here to help you learn. I'm here to share with you everything that I've learned literally in organic marketing over the last 15 plus years. And today, I want to dive into something that very often gets overlooked, and that is you must know your numbers. Okay. So we're not talking directly about driving traffic today, but what we are talking about is understanding what's happening when you're driving traffic, understanding what's happening in every single area of your business. So for me at my agency, even here at Traffic Keys, we meet every single week and we have KPIs, key performance indicators, statistics that we track on a weekly basis. We have goals, okay, either for the week or for the month, and we're tracking those pieces of data every single week, and we have a meeting about them and we talk about them, and we're looking at, okay, which KPIs are doing well, which KPIs are not. And now I want to be clear, all of our KPIs are about moving the needle, right? They're all important KPIs that lead to customer generation, lead to helping you grow with us. That's what it's all about. Okay, that's what we're tracking. Now you can do that here when we're talking about lead generation and driving traffic. You could do that on the accounting side. You can do that in every part of your business. But on this side, what we're looking at is understanding the fact that there is a journey that people go through when they become your customer. From the time that they realize they have a problem to they start looking for a solution and find you, and then they're considering you, and so on and so forth, all the way through them becoming a customer of whatever your core product is, and then you working to ascend them to your other offers and your other products, and then turning them into champions. There is a process that people go through in order to get there. Every single one of your customers goes through a process. Do you know what that process is? That's a whole question all by itself. And we'll deal with that whole question in other lives. We'll break a lot of that down because there's a lot there to unpack. But right now, what I want to talk about is I want you to even just think, even from where you are right now, you can consider maybe some touch points that happen in your business that move customers along from being someone who just found out about you to becoming someone who's your absolute champion. If you could just write those points down, just write those down, and then consider this. Consider how many people make it from one stage to the next stage to the next stage to the next stage. And what am I doing to help them make it from one stage to the next stage to the next stage to the next stage? And then you track that information. Now, I get it. There may be some stages that you have on there that you don't have anybody in, and people aren't, and that's okay. That's all right. Track what you can, right? Because, and this is why I'm doing this message for you today, because I want you to understand how important this is for you to track your metrics, whatever they may be, whatever you decide to track your metrics, and then whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, analyze them. For us, we do it every single week on Fridays. Well, some of my clients we do Fridays, others we do on Mondays because we got to kind of split it up. Okay. But we do this every single week. And here's what we're doing. We're going through and we're tracking each metric as it relates to its goal and as it relates to each other. So here's what happened. Here's a story of what happened. This happened today. And this is why I'm sharing this with you, because this is what's going on right now. This happened today. So I was with one of my sales managers today, and we're going through their metrics for the product that they're working on. And we're looking at, okay, so how many people did we reach out to, okay, to introduce the product? Then how many people responded? And how many people are we in conversations with that are interested in the product? Those are just at a very, very high level. Those are the three key metrics that we're tracking. Now, we're tracking a lot more, but these are the three that are related to the story from today. So we're looking at this, and I'm looking at how many people we reached out to. And I'm like, wow, okay. I see the number. It was a good number. Then I look at how many people responded, and I said, man, that does not seem like it's a lot, because it was 25%. 25% of the people responded. And I'm thinking, wow, that's not, given our past history, that's not great numbers, because we usually trend at about 50%, because we're usually pretty good at targeting our audience with our messages so that we get really good response rates. But here we were getting a 25% response rate. And I'm like, okay. So my first thought when I saw that, as we're talking, I'm like, okay, so something's off here, right? So maybe our targeting, what targeting algorithm did we do this week? What did we change? Maybe there's a challenge, and he was telling me what we changed. And Ash was telling me what we changed. I said, well, maybe that's where it is. Maybe we, this week, the change in our targeting algorithm caused this problem that we are experiencing these numbers. And so then we looked at the next number, and the next number was how many of those people that responded are actually engaged and ready to go. These people who are ready to become customers or became customers, how many people are actually in that bucket? And guess what, guys? I realized as I looked at that number, the number of people that were in that super engaged bucket about to become a customer this week matched the exact number that we had last week. But here's the kicker. So remember, we reached out to a bunch of people, so that was a big number, and then some people responded. Well, last week, twice as many people responded as how many responded this week. So I was upset about the 25%, because I'm like, we're usually at 50% response rate. We're only at 25%. But then that third number said, but look, we got the same result out of less people. So now the sales team, they're working less. They worked half as much this week to produce the same result. And now, if I wasn't tracking my numbers, I'd say, I got the same result last week. We got the same result this week, because we're just looking at what pops out at the bottom. And that's what most of us do in our businesses, is we just look at the bottom line. What's happening at the bottom? Is what's happening at the bottom okay? Then, all right, it's enough. I made enough, or I met the goal that I set. Okay, I'm cool. But we don't consider how we got there. And so now we're looking at this and saying, so wait a minute, we got the same end result, but we worked half as much. So yes, we reached out to more people, which is the easiest part of this entire equation, right? But we got only 25% response versus 50% response rate, but more of those 25% actually turned into something super positive for our business. So we said, great, guess what? Next week, we're going to use the exact same targeting, but we're going to push more out there. So we're going to reach out. We're going to double the number of people we reach out to next week and see, are we going to get double the response? Are we going to stay at the 25%, but then my bottom line number, will that double? That will be awesome. And see, this, guys, is the beauty of knowing your numbers. Because when you know your numbers, you can ask intelligent questions about why is this working or why isn't this working? What changed? Or you may even see things like what I'm seeing right now. My sales team worked half as much this week as they did last week. And so when I go now and look at what they actually produced this week, they were able to not only produce the leads that we that hit their quota, but they were also able to do all this other work as well. We're being more efficient. We're being more efficient. But it's only because I know my numbers can I say we're being more efficient. I know why we're being more efficient, and now we can duplicate it, right? Because so many times in business, you might get lucky. You might land a client, you may have a good month, but you don't know how to duplicate it. And the reason you don't know how to duplicate it is because you're not tracking your numbers. You're not. You're not. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I want you all to send this to me. Okay. Not in comments, because I know some of this is proprietary information, and I promise you, I'm not going to share this. Okay. But I want you to send me an email. hello@traffickeys.com. Send me an email. And in that email, I want you to tell me, okay, here are the touch points that someone goes through when they're buying from me. From the point in time when they know that they have a problem, they realize they have a problem, they start looking for a solution, they find me, and here are the touch points that they have to go through in order to be convinced to use me. And then after they've purchased, here are the after steps and how I get them to become a champion. Just write those touch points. Write them down and send them to me. I'm not going to share with anybody else, I promise. But I want you to do this exercise, because this is the first step in you tracking your information. Because if you don't do this step, you will never actually track your information. Okay? You've got to know what you want to track first. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you got something out of this. What am I talking about? Tracking your information, knowing your numbers, knowing what's actually going on in your business. Stop ignoring what's going on. Stop playing dumb and not looking at it. It's not smart business. Okay? All right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.